So welcome to our Zoom Basics class. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your support during this very unreal, very surreal time also. So we really appreciate the fact that you're taking the time from home to be with us, and we're very happy to do this and be part of your life, because just as much as you guys are going stir crazy, we are going stir crazy too. So tonight I just want to really do a very pretty gentle practice. So nothing too over the top, a little more stretchy, since we probably have been sitting around a little bit more, but also maybe just a little bit of standing poses just to get up and moving, because we've been sitting so much. So as always, for your breathing, if you would like to sit up on a block, your blanket, that's what I should have told you. If you have a strap or a belt, definitely have that for the end of class so we can stretch out a little bit more. For blocks when you're at home, maybe using like cracker boxes, or maybe Tupperware turned upside down, or Rubbermaid turned upside down, books. So anything that can give you a little bit of support, but those are some different ways to go ahead and have something underneath your hands. So with that, and I think maybe if you can all mute yourself, that would be great. I did not mute all of you, but if you could maybe take a moment and mute yourself, that would be wonderful. So for your seated position, or if you want to lay down on your back, please feel free to lay down on your back for your breath work. Then just go ahead and close the eyes. Feel the eyelids soft. The gaze behind the eyelids is soft. Feel the skin of your forehead releasing. The space in between the eyebrows relaxed. The cheeks are loose. The lips are nice and loose. Drop your chin down a little bit to release any tension you have in your jaw. Feel the front of your throat soft also. Feel the tops of the shoulders heavy down towards the floor. Collarbones are just melting open. And as they melt open, maybe you feel that your hands slide up the legs just a little bit more. Feel your shoulders just heavy and hanging down the back of your body. Try not to force them to go anywhere. Just allow gravity to gently release the shoulder blades down your back. Then bring your attention to the breath. And notice if the breath has already naturally started to slow, maybe to lengthen a little bit as you've begun to release tension through the face and the upper body. Allow the breath to become an anchor for you, a grounding force. Allow the breath to connect you to your heart center. Allow your breath to allow you to let go of your tension, maybe unease that you feel at this time. Connect back to the heart center, connect to the things that are for sure in your life, your family, your friends, your loved ones. And just let that breath once again anchor your heart to those things in your life that you're sure of, that are constant. Letting go of unknown things right now. Bring your hands together at heart center. And take a moment to set an intent tonight. An intent is as simple as being on your mat, feeling some normalcy in your life, just to move the body with your breath. Of course, if you'd like to send energy out to loved ones or just into the world in general right now in support of everyone feeling that same unease, unrest. And just take a moment and breathe that in. Let it drop down into the heart and settle. And then slowly take your arms up overhead. If you would like to open your eyes again, that's fine. Lift up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms up to the ceiling. Just reach up nice and tall and long. Feel that stretch on either side of your body. Press the energy through the palms and through the wrists up. And press some energy down through the sits bones. Feeling the pelvis really anchoring you down to the earth right now. And on your next exhale, release the hands and rotate to your right. Just a nice, light, gentle twist. Sitting up tall on the sits bones. Level chin. Once again, continue to feel your pelvis anchored down towards the earth, giving you a foundation, a basis. And then inhale, come back up to center. Reach the arms back up, interlace those fingers again. Stretch the palms up, lengthening through the spine again. Lifting the heart, lifting the sternum up. Just keep pressing energy up through the palms. Energy down through the pelvis. Just a really long line of the spine, from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of your head. And then exhale, rotate to your left. And relax the arms down, sitting up tall. Being careful not to pull yourself into your twist, just let the body rotate to its natural rotation. Good, and then come back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up again. This time take the right hand down and take a side stretch over to the right. Bend the right elbow just a little bit. Relax the shoulder down your back. You can have the head up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor. Especially with a nice home practice, really allow yourself maybe to experiment with your body more tonight. What really feels good to you? And very slowly come all the way up, reach up to the fingertips again, and then take the left hand down and take a side stretch over the other way. very slowly and come all the way back up. Nice. Just take a moment, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And roll them up, back, and down. And roll the shoulders up, back, and down. One more time. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Then gently drop the chin down to the chest. And take 3 breaths here, just allowing the back of the spine, the back of the neck to release. Maybe even feeling that stretch in the very upper part of your shoulders. And then gently roll your head to the right. Let that ear drop down to the shoulder. And then slowly allow the head to come back down towards the chest. And then roll the head the other way. A nice opening through the side of the neck. And then slowly lower the head back down. And lift the head back up. Okay, let's come over onto our hands and knees. So again, if you are on a harder surface, take a moment, maybe put something underneath you. Once again, I am definitely going to be using a blanket on my floor here at home. Okay. Alright, so once you are settled with whatever you need underneath you, bring your hands just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. And then just take a few hip circles. So take the hips to the right, a little bit back, around to the left. If doing hip circles is uncomfortable on your knees, maybe just try swaying the hips to side and then back to the other side. So just make sure that you're comfortable on top of those kneecaps. We'll take one more circle around to the right. Good. And then reverse that circle, starting it over to the left, stretching it out, around, back, and side. Really get into that nice juicy side stretch, especially with all the sitting we've been doing. Get into that side of the leg and the hip. Looks like tomorrow might finally be a little bit of sunshine for us. Help us get outside, get a little walk in, get some fresh air. That's going to really help to change, I think, all of our attitudes right now. Springtime in Indiana is just such a hard time between it really staying a little cooler than what we would want it to during spring. And then go ahead, sit back into child's pose now. Go ahead and open those knees up a little bit. So once again, if it's uncomfortable on your knees in child's pose, just a reminder, if you want to place a blanket behind your thighs so you're not seated back quite as far, feel free to do that. If you want to wrap the arms around your sides, feel free to do that too. And take 3 more breaths in your child's pose. Go ahead and come back onto your hands and knees. And go ahead and lay down on your stomach. We'll do just a little bit of opening for our shoulders. So you're going to take your arms out into a T position. From here, you're going to roll onto your right hip. So go ahead and lift the left hip up. From here, you can either bend the top leg and place it behind you. You can keep the knees bent and together and maybe just use the front arm to push back a little bit. So once you feel a stretch through the front of the right shoulder, you might even feel that stretch going down your arm just a little bit too. Once again, don't take yourself into too much discomfort, so totally up to you how far twisted back that you are. So again, just trying to get some opening in the front of our chest from being on our devices, seated, maybe kind of slumped over like I know how I am sitting right now a lot. It's really hard to sit up tall the entire day. You can also play with the position of your arm by lowering the arm down a little bit or maybe raising it up a little bit higher. And just take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhaling out. Another deep breath in and exhaling back out. Good. Slowly come back onto your stomach. While you guys are doing that, I'm just going to turn around on my mat a little bit. And head to the other side. You guys don't need to do that. Good. And then once again, take your arms out into a T. Roll over onto the left hip. Roll that right hip up and up. Once again, the foot can go behind you, or you can keep the legs together and maybe just use the front arm a little bit more. I'm staying on my blanket, as you notice, once again, just so the side of my leg is a little bit more comfortable instead of that little bone, my little trochanter going down onto the concrete right now. So just reaching back with the left arm, feeling that stretch in the front of the shoulder, maybe down the arm a little bit. Just nice deep breaths in, releasing the air back out. Okay, take 1 more deep breath in. Good, and let all that air out. Take another moment to roll onto your stomach. Press back into one more child's pose. Once again, maybe allow those knees to open out to the sides a little bit. Stretching the arms forward. On this child's pose, we're going to bring the palms of the hands together, and you're going to reach your thumbs back in between the shoulder blades. So getting a nice stretch through the triceps now. Slowly release your arms back out. Gently come back up onto your hands and knees. So once again, leave my blanket underneath my knees to come into a low lunge. So from here, just go ahead and step that left foot forward and come into a low lunge. If you want to place blocks underneath your hands, feel free to bring blocks underneath your hands. Back foot, the toes can be tucked or they can be untucked. Just go in that nice little lunge, get a nice stretch through the front of the right hip flexor. If you feel kind of tight in this left hip, move your foot out just a little bit and maybe even turn those toes out just a little bit if you feel a little bit kind of stuck there in that front hip. Allow the shoulders to reach down your back. Just a little engagement in the core muscles. For those of you missing cat and cow, we're going to come into that in between sides. Things that are familiar or kind of important right now. Good. And then go ahead, place the hands down, bring that knee back underneath you, coming onto all fours, maybe spreading the arms a little bit apart from one another. And inhale, come into cow pose. Exhale, round up into cat. And inhale into cow. Exhale, rounding up into cat. As always, following your breath. And exhaling. Good. Let's do 2 more rounds. And 1 more. Good. Then come back into neutral. Step the right foot forward. Come into your low lunge on the other side. Once again, hands either on the floor or on your cracker box or Tupperware bowls, whatever you have handy. Once again, if you feel that kind of compression, congestion in the front right hip, maybe move that foot out a little bit. If you move the foot out, go ahead and allow yourself to move your hands in to the inside of that right leg. Once again, just feeling that nice opening in the front of the back hip. So during this time, I have been trying to be open to doing some other things. So my gym is doing those little kind of 20-minute circuit workouts, which I don't normally do. So I've been doing those, which has been a good experience for me actually, and getting me out of kind of my comfort zone there a little bit. So I'm trying to find as much positive as I can at this time when life is very disruptive. And then go ahead, come out, bring the knee back down. Let's just take 3 more cat and cows. Inhale, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, rounding through the spine. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale, round. And let's just do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, let's go ahead and come into downward facing dog, or if you want to walk the hands forward, come into puppy dog. That's fine too. Once you are in downward facing dog, feel free to walk your dog out in 1 knee at a time. Once again, if you want to sway those hips back and forth a little bit. And then start to find some stillness. Especially if you're in full down dog, I want you to think about moving your weight into the base of the fingers. So think about how we have the balls of our feet. Think about kind of like the balls of your fingers. So across the top of your palm, instead of so much weight into the bottom of the palm, see if you can press your forearms forward a little bit and move some weight up into the top of that palm. I've been working a lot with this, and it does help me take some compression and discomfort out of my wrists. So nice strong arms. Once again, allow your knees to be soft. Feel the pelvis, the tailbone, lifting up and back. Feel that spine nice and long. See if you can find that natural curve in the low back. If you're having difficulty finding that natural curve of the low back, maybe bend those knees just a little bit more. And then slowly make your way into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Good. Once you're in your forward fold, just allow yourself to dangle over the legs. As always, opposite elbows to sway side to side, or keep the hands down towards the earth and just sway side to side. Bending your knees a little bit to allow the stretch to come more into the back instead of so much into the hamstrings. Allow the head to hang really heavy. On your next inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Finding a nice, strong Tadasana. Really feel yourself pressing the feet down into the earth, down into your mat. Feel the muscles hugging gently into the leg bones. Feel the pelvis and the tailbone just dropping down towards the earth. The spine lifting and light up towards the sky. Level chins. Maybe gently pull that chin back in, maybe just a hair. Make sure the ears are over the shoulders. Lift the roof of your mouth up towards the ceiling. Just feel everything nice and light. Connect with your breath again, feeling that breath moving easily through the upper body. Feeling your exhales, soften everything in. And moving into half salutations. Inhale, take your arms up overhead, reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, press against your shins or your thighs, lengthen into a nice L shape. Fold back over your legs. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, take the arms up. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over. Inhale, come back up to standing. Press down through the feet, rising up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale, lifting up, stretch. Exhale, folding over. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over. Inhale, lifting up, stretch, up, up, up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach up, stretch up through the fingertips. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, all the way to standing, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Nice. You can stay where you're at. I'm going to turn to face you. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, stretch up, and just take a nice crescent side stretch over. Once again, just open up the side body. Trying to really just get into the entire body, just give a little bit of stretch and opening. Good. Slowly come all the way back up. Grab a hold of the other wrist, lift up, crescent over to the other side. Press down through the feet. Feel the waist stretching, feel the ribs opening. Maybe stretch even through the upper arm. Maybe even down a little bit through the side of the right leg. Come all the way back up, reach the arms up overhead. You're going to turn to your right and allow the left hand to come forward. Right arm's going to go behind you. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, rotate and twist the other way. Go ahead and allow those hips to move. Inhale, come back up to center, reaching up. Exhale, turn back to your right. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Turn back to the left, reaching out through the fingertips. Come all the way back up, reaching up. Lower your arms back and down to your sides. Let's go ahead and just allow ourselves to do some circles with the ankles. So just take that left foot, circle the ankle around. Give it a little bit of movement. And then go ahead, circle the other way. Embrace maybe your little snap, crackle, and pop down in that ankle. Good, and then release that foot down and switch over to the right and circle that ankle around. Just had a nice little pop in mine at least. Good, circle the other way, circle. Good, and then go ahead and place that foot down. Good. We come back to the end of my mat. Okay, let's just do a couple of standing postures. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold back over your legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over. Reach your right leg back into a low lunge to start with. Once again, hands on the floor or on whatever you have at home. That if you want to bring your hands up a little bit higher. Keep reaching through the spine. Press energy out through the back right heel. Pull the shoulder blades down into your back. Come back to your breath, deep breath in and exhaling out. Another deep breath in and exhaling out. Good. And then on your next exhale, bend your back knee a little bit, push off that foot, come back into your forward fold. Just take 3 breaths here in a forward fold. Inhale, and exhaling out. And deep breath in. Exhaling out. One more deep breath in. And exhaling out. Go ahead, step your left foot back into a low lunge on the other side. As you can tell, I'm using blocks tonight. So I've been another positive thing I'm trying to find is, since I am teaching virtually, it's allowing me to do a yoga practice too, but I'm getting a few more practices than I'm used to, which is really a nice side benefit for me, but I'm finding a little bit more tiring for my body than what I might expect. Keep that back leg nice and strong. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale out. And 1 more deep breath in. Good. Then bend that back knee just a little bit. Push off your toes. Come back into your forward fold. I'm going to move my blocks back out in front of me. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Good. Let's come into Warrior 2. I'm going to turn around. So I'm actually going to be facing you. So I'm going to start with the right leg back again. So take that right foot back. Turn your right toes out. And come into Warrior 2. Good. So once again, in that Warrior 2, really think about your spine being perpendicular with the floor. So you're not reaching too far forward. You're kind of not tilted back a little bit, but you're nice and up and down. Maybe even take a moment, bring your hands to your hips. See if those hips are right across from one another. Sometimes I have a tendency to kind of lift up that front hip a little bit. Sometimes I need to pull it in and back just a hair, or sometimes I pull it in too far and I tilt my hip back the other way. So take a moment, maybe just use your hands to kind of see where your pelvis is. Feeling a nice opening through the front of my left inner thigh there. Press firmly down through your back foot. Good. Keep reaching out to the fingertips. Once again, feel your pelvis really releasing the ground down towards the earth. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Then exhaling out. Another deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. Go ahead and turn into crescent lunge. So just turn your right heel up to the ceiling and reach the arms up overhead. If you want to take them into prayer, that's fine. Or you can take them into cactus or into a V. Whatever's going to work best for your shoulders tonight. And just take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhaling out. Another deep breath in. Exhale out. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Once again, bend that back knee just a little bit. Push off your toes. Ooh, come into standing at the front of your mat. You guys can stay where you're at. I'm just going to come back to the other end of my mat for the other side. Go ahead, step your left foot back. Turn those left toes out. And come into warrior 2 on the other side. Once again, find that spine perpendicular. So like tonight, since I have my little zip up hoodie on because I'm a little chilly down in our basement. Really make sure that that zipper is straight up and down. So if you can imagine that you have on something like that, make sure that the front of that zipper would be perpendicular to the floor. And see if you want to take your hands down to your hips, double check kind of their alignment too, make sure you're not too tilty in the pelvis. And again, feeling that stretch in my front of my inner thigh there, my right leg. Feeling the top of my quad muscle working a little bit too. I have learned in these little circuit workouts that those little jumping lunges are really quite challenging. Good, take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhaling out. And 1 more deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. From here, turn your hips and face back to where you just were. Turn the left heel up to the ceiling and come into crescent lunge. Once again, any arm variation you would like. Hands heart center, overhead, cactus, V. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and do heart center. I'm really going to come back to my breath right now. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. Another deep breath in. Exhaling out. And 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Bend that back knee just a little bit. And push off of it and come into Tadasana at the end of your mat. Take a moment, close your eyes. Come back to your intent for your practice. Keep pressing down through your feet. And just a reminder to let your breath ground you. Let the breath connect you to your heart center. And then go ahead and release the arms. We're going to come down onto our stomach and just do a little bit of work for extension. As you come down here, so we're going to take a moment and get a quick drink of water. Please feel free to obviously get water at home too. Great. So if they come all the way down, and let's come into Cobra pose. So bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Reach out through your legs strongly. Take just a moment and really press down into the tops of your feet. So when you do that, your knees are probably going to come off of your mats, and that's fine. Pull the elbows into your sides. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. And then pull the low belly up and in. And then start to press into the hands, starting to lift up. Notice as you're lifting up when you really start to feel weight in your hands. And just know when your weight is more in your hands, you're using your arms to get that extension in your spine. Not necessarily a bad thing, especially right now. I just want you to get open in the front of the body. Not really going for that kind of more strengthening cobra pose, where maybe I might be like, hey, don't come up so high so those back muscles are working a little bit more. You still want to feel those back muscles strong. But go ahead and allow your arms to work today to really just open up the front of the body. Once again, in these seated positions that we're in, by being stuck inside, we just need to allow the front of that body to open up again in front of the spine. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Turn your cheek to the side. Feel free to bring your hands underneath your cheek or take them to the sides of the body. Feel free to bring one knee out to the side if that is more comfortable in your resting position on your stomach. And bring your head back to center. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. Take that moment again to press into the tops of your feet, down into the tops of your toes. Pull those elbows in, shoulders down your back. Engage the core muscles. Press into the hands and gently lift yourself back up into cobra. Once again, use your arms today to really come up into maybe a higher cobra than we might normally do. But once again, make sure that you're comfortable on your back. Obviously, Elizabeth, you're not doing this right now. And then very slowly lower all the way back down. Turn the head the other way to rest. And then bring your head back to center. And you can keep it turned inside, bend your knees, and slowly windshield wiper your feet back behind you. Good, and go ahead, release the feet down. Come onto your hands and knees just for a very brief moment. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So from here, we don't need to come into it in any fancy way. Just go ahead and bring your right knee forward behind the hand. Extend the leg back behind you. If a pigeon in a classical position is not easily accessible for you, then you're going to lay down on your back. Place both feet onto your mats. Cross the right foot over your left knee and gently bring that left thigh into your chest. Let's come into a nice pigeon pose. Good. Same thing as if you were in the studio. Make sure that you have support underneath your hips if you need it, whether that's a blanket or something a little bit higher underneath that right hip. And then go ahead and slowly start to walk the hands forward. Maybe just Coming just down to the forearms, maybe all the way down. Just to get a stretch in the back of our hips now. So we've done a pretty good job at getting in the front of the hip flexor, a little bit of inner thigh, but we'll come back to the inner thigh here in a moment. If you want a little bit more through the back leg, you can tuck your toes underneath you and lift that left knee up off of your mat. Can be a pretty intense stretch though through the front of the left thigh. Once again, that's not my version tonight, but feel free to play around with that if you'd like. So just a reminder that pigeon is really easy to do during the day when you're in a chair. Just like we do on our backs, just cross your ankle over the other knee, and you can just lean forward a little bit to get a nice stretch in the back of that right hip, and then switch sides, do the other hip. And walk your hands back to you. Press up onto the hands, bring your knee underneath you. And instead of taking it down dog, we're just going to take a nice child's pose tonight. Just reach that spine forward for a moment. If down dog is really calling to you after pigeon, please feel free to take it down dog. And slowly come back up onto your hands and knees. And then just slide that left knee forward to come into pigeon on the other side. Once again, take that moment to take any support that you need underneath your hips. And then once you have yourself settled, go ahead and you can come onto the forearms or lay down even more deeply. Once again, if you're on the back, you're crossing the left ankle over the right knee, gently bringing the right thigh in. And I'm so sorry if you had been on your back. Hopefully you just pulled your knees into your chest instead of coming over to child's pose in between sides. Once again, just come back to that really nice, smooth, easy breath in the body. So always maybe just take a few exhales out through your mouth, just to really help you release tension, any stress. And then once again, slowly come back up onto the hands. Let's just take one more child's pose. Once again, if you're on your back, feel free just to pull your knees in towards the chest, maybe a little bit more towards the shoulders. Once again, if down dog is calling your name, please take a down dog. And slowly walk your hands back to you. And let's go ahead and lay down on our back for bridge pose. Before you get down there, if you want to take a moment and get your strap or a belt, whatever is handy for you to use as a strap here after we do bridge pose, go ahead and get that close to you. Good. Lay all the way down. Bend your knees, push your feet flat on your mat, and take your arms down. So take a moment, turn your palms up to the ceiling. And notice as you turn the palms up how the front of the collarbones open and widen in the front of the body. So you can either go ahead and stay with the palms facing up, or with trying not to change what just happened with collarbones, just gently turn the palms back down to the earth. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my palms up, just so I can keep that nice opening in front of my shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. And lift the hips up to the ceiling, pressing down into the feet. Feeling the weight coming into the upper shoulders. You want a little bit of tension in the back of your legs. But I want you to also imagine that you are squeezing your back muscles in towards your spine. So the spine is really being stabilized and supported by those back muscles. It can be really difficult to feel those back muscles working sometimes. Same thing, if you kind of just keep sending that message from the brain into that particular part of the body, you're going to start to feel them turn on. But they do kind of need to be told to turn on sometimes. We do a lot of work, once again, in the strengthening at the front of our body, and we kind of forget the back of ourselves sometimes. And then slowly come all the way back down. Good, rest for a moment. And take another deep breath in. Lift back up into your bridge pose. Press down firmly into your heels. Once again, feeling the weight into the shoulders too, but also allowing the legs to take your weight. And just feel a little bit of pressure into the back of your skull. Notice as you do that, your chin is probably going to level out a little bit more. It's probably tucked down into your chest just a little bit. So just put a little pressure into the back of the head. Once again, see if you can feel the back muscles engaging, holding the spine steady. And slowly lower all the way back down. Take another rest. So this is a basics class. If any of you want to take this deeper by placing your hands underneath your pelvis, once you are up in your bridge to get a little bit more height, you feel free to do that. Or if you want to interlace the fingers underneath the back, that's always an inspiration to take for some of you. Feel free to do that on our last bridge. And take another deep breath in. And exhale. Lift the hips back up. Squeezing through the hamstrings and your glutes. Continue to feel those collarbones widening and opening. Feel the back muscles strong on the back. That little bit of pressure into the back of your skull. And then very slowly lower all the way back down.
Take your feet apart, let your knees just drop into one another, or if you prefer windshield wipers, allow your knees to just sway back and forth gently. And then from here, go ahead and take a hold of your strap, maybe a belt, whatever you have handy in your home that you can wrap around a foot. So take the belt, strap, place it around the ball of your foot, and extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Left leg can stay bent, or if you want to go ahead and straighten it out along your mat, feel free to do that. Once again, I always like to slide down my straps and my forearms are on the floor, so I'm not reaching up and putting any tension and rounding my shoulders forward. My shoulders are rounded forward enough on their own, so try to do a little training to stay open a little bit more. And just gently pull the strap down onto the ball of the foot. As you're pulling the strap down on the ball of the foot, think about extending the heel up. The leg does not have to be perpendicular. It can be at an angle. Once again, your body, your practice, where it's most appropriate for you to be. But breathe into the back of the right hamstring, to the back of the right knee, down the right calf muscle. Then put both ends of the straps into your right hand. Allow the right leg to open out to the side. Try to keep that left hip where it's at so you're not twisting and arching in the low back. If you're really having problems with that, it helps to bend the knee and allow the right knee to open out to the side. That's going to help just that change of weight of the leg is going to help keep that left side of the pelvis down if you want to do that version. You get a nice stretch in the right inner thigh right now. And then very slowly lift that right leg back up. If you do have that left knee bent out to the side, go ahead, re-straighten your leg down your mat. Grab a hold of the sides of the strap with your left hand now, and then very gently take the leg across the body. Now feeling a nice stretch through the outside of the right thigh. Go ahead and allow that right leg to roll off of your mat if you'd like. Also get a nice little twist in the spine too. Slowly bring the right leg back up. And bend the knee in. Take the strap off of that foot. Switch sides. Put it around this ball of the left foot. Extend the leg up. Gently slide the hands down, the forearms relax. Once again, right leg can be bent, or you can extend the right leg along your max. Gently press the strap against the ball of the right foot. Extend the left heel away from you. Try to imagine the back of the left leg and the hamstring back of the knee and the calf muscle. Think about those areas just opening and softening. Once again, lower your leg down a little bit more. Don't worry about trying to have it at a 90-degree angle. Your body, your practice. And put both sides of the strap into your left hand. Let the left leg come out to the side, keeping that right hip steady. Once again, maybe bending the knee, letting the right leg fall open to the side. They give you a little bit more weight in the pelvis to keep it steady. Now breathing into your left inner thigh. And slowly lift the leg up. If you had your knee bent, lift the right leg up, straighten along the mat. Grab the straps with the right hand and take the left leg over the body, allowing that left hip to roll up and off of your mat. Feeling the rotation in the spine. Feeling the stretch down the side of the left leg. And then very slowly lift your leg back up. Take your foot out of your strap. And go ahead, place your strap to the side. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Take knee circles if you'd like. And then when you're ready, extend your legs out for Shavasana. Taking a moment to put any type of prop you may need underneath your knees. Once again, I know it's easy at home to kind of bail out on Shavasana. Try to stay with it. It's still an important part of your practice. I'm going to sit up so I can keep an eye on the time for us. And then when you're ready, float your eyes shut. Feel your eyelids soft once again. Feel the eyes heavy into the back of the eye sockets. Feel softness through the entire facial features. Feel the softness moving down through the neck, and down through the tops of the shoulders, down your arms, all the way down into the palms of your hands and into your fingers. Feel the softness down the front of the torso and down the back of the spine. Down into the pelvis, into the glutes, all the way down your legs, into the soles of your feet and into the toes. And just continue to feel the entire body softening and melting down into the earth as you rest in Shavasana. Bring your awareness back into your body. Allow your breath to deepen. Bring gentle movement into your fingers, down into your toes. Very gently turn your head from side to side. If you'd like, give your body a nice long stretch. And very slowly bring one knee at a time into your chest. And roll over onto your right side, taking one last moment to pause. And keeping your head nice and heavy, the eyes closed, press yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands together at heart center. And take a moment to reconnect with your breath. Once again, allowing the breath to ground you, to reconnect you with your heart. Taking a moment to feel the energy of your practice, how that energy supports your well-being, your peace, and your happiness. And then extend that energy to the others in your life, your loved ones, your family, your friends, and allow your energy to help support their well-being, peace, and happiness. And then allow that energy to extend further out to all sentient beings and out into the world to support the well-being, peace, and happiness of those sentient beings in the entire world, which really does need all of our positive energy right now. Just feel that energy flowing out of you, feeling it supports you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for your practice and coming onto your mats. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be in peace. Namaste.
Thank you.